Imagine this. It's 2:47 in the morning. A Chinook helicopter tears through Venezuelan airspace at 180 miles per hour. Inside, Nicolas Maduro sits zip-tied, blindfolded, wearing nothing but silk pajamas. 12 Delta Force operators surround him. His wife screams in Spanish beside him. In exactly 43 minutes, the most wanted narco-terrorist in the Western Hemisphere will land on American soil. In 6 hours, he'll be standing in a federal courtroom facing charges that could put him away for life. But here's the insane part. Nobody saw it coming. Not the Russians. Not the Chinese. Not even Maduro's own security team. So how did the United States pull off the impossible? How do you kidnap a sitting president from inside his own heavily fortified palace, protected by Russian missiles, Cuban intelligence, and 50,000 loyal troops? Before we break down every second of this operation, smash that like button and subscribe because what you're about to hear will completely change how you see American military power. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and whether you think this was justice or an act of war. Let's dive in. This operation didn't start on January 3rd, 2026. It didn't even start in 2025. This mission began 5 years earlier with a phone call, a betrayal, and $50 million in cash. August 2020. CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. An encrypted call comes in from Caracas. The caller? A high-ranking officer in Venezuela's military intelligence. For the sake of this story, we'll call him Cardinal. He's been on Maduro's personal security detail for 8 years. He knows every rotation, every safe house, every escape route. And he's had enough. He's tired of watching his country collapse while Maduro and his generals fly cocaine to Miami and stack cash in Swiss banks. Cardinal wants out, but he wants something first. $50 million, immunity for his family, and a new life in America. The CIA agrees. Just like that, Cardinal becomes the most valuable intelligence asset in South America. For the next 4 years, Cardinal feeds the CIA everything. Maduro's daily schedule, his mistresses, his secret bunkers, the locations of his gold reserves, the names of every Chinese intelligence officer operating in Caracas. But here's the golden piece of intel that Cardinal provides in November 2024. Maduro has stage 2 colon cancer. He's getting treatments in Havana every 6 weeks. Cuban doctors, Russian medications. The trips are completely secret. Not even his own cabinet knows. And every time Maduro leaves for Havana, there's a 36-hour window when palace security drops to just 40% capacity. That intelligence sits on someone's desk at CIA headquarters for 3 months, until Donald Trump returns to the White House. January 20th, 2025, Trump's second inauguration. That night, during a private dinner at the White House, Trump asked CIA Director Bill Burns one simple question. Can we get Maduro? Burns pulls out a folder. Operation Cardinal. 5 years of intelligence gathering. Trump reads for 20 minutes in complete silence. Then he looks up and says 3 words, "Make it happen." Now here's the problem. You can't just fly into Caracas and grab a head of state like you're picking up groceries. Venezuela has Russian-made S-400 air defense systems that can shoot down anything within 250 miles. They have Cuban intelligence embedded in every government office. They have Chinese surveillance technology monitoring every phone call, every email, every text message in the entire country. One leak, one intercepted communication, and the mission is over before it even starts. The operators would be walking into a death trap. So the CIA builds a cover story. They call it Operation Distant Thunder. The official story? The United States is planning massive military exercises in the Caribbean. Naval drills, air superiority training, a show of force to Cuba and Nicaragua. Completely routine. Nobody suspects it's actually a cover for the largest snatch-and-grab operation in modern history. March 2025. The USS Iwo Jima, an amphibious assault ship, deploys to the Caribbean. Official mission, counter-narcotics operations. Real mission, floating staging base 70 miles north of Venezuela in international waters. On board are members of JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command, Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers. Literally the best helicopter pilots on planet Earth. And they start training for one mission and one mission only. Penetrate Caracas airspace. Extract one target. Get out alive. But they need one more thing. They need Maduro to be in Caracas, not hiding in Havana, not buried in some underground bunker. They need him exposed, vulnerable. And Trump has a plan for that. November 14th, 2025. Trump calls Maduro directly. No State Department, no diplomats, no intermediaries. Just Trump on a secure line, speaking to Maduro through a translator. Trump offers a deal. Step down peacefully, go into exile in Cuba or Russia, keep your money, keep your freedom. Or stay in power and face the consequences. Maduro laughs. He thinks Trump is bluffing. He tells Trump that Venezuela is a sovereign nation, that America has no authority, that he'll die before he surrenders. Trump's response is ice cold. We'll see about that. That phone call gets recorded and leaked to the press 3 days later. Maduro calls it American imperialism. He gives a defiant speech in Caracas, angry, pounding his fist on the podium. He vows to stay in power for life. And that's exactly what Trump wanted. Because now Maduro feels invincible. Now he gets careless. December 2025. CIA surveillance picks up increased activity around the presidential palace. Maduro cancels his December trip to Havana. Why? Because he's meeting with Chinese diplomats about a massive deal. China is offering Venezuela a $10 billion infrastructure package in exchange for oil rights. It's the biggest deal of Maduro's presidency. He can't miss it. The meeting is scheduled for January 2nd, 2026 at Miraflores Palace. After the meeting, Maduro plans to fly to Havana for his cancer treatment. But here's what Maduro doesn't know. Cardinal has already told the CIA everything. The exact time Maduro will be in the palace. The fact that his personal security will be light because most of his guards will be preparing for the Havana trip. And most importantly, Maduro will be sleeping in the palace that night. Not in a bunker, not in a safe house. In his bedroom. 3rd floor, east wing. That's the window. That's the moment. December 31st, 2025. New Year's Eve. While Americans are counting down to midnight, Trump signs the mission authorization at Mar-a-Lago. Operation Absolute Resolve. Capture Nicolas Maduro. Bring him to American soil. Charge him with narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, money laundering, crimes against humanity. The mission parameters are crystal clear. Capture, not kill. Minimal Venezuelan casualties. 0 American losses. Extraction within 4 hours. And if the mission goes wrong, if operators get captured, Trump will authorize a full-scale invasion to get them out. 18,000 Marines are standing by in Florida. 2 bombers are armed and ready. This is not a bluff. January 1st, 2026. Delta Force receives the final briefing. The team leader goes by the codename Hatchet. 22 years in special operations. Multiple tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. If anyone can pull this off, it's Hatchet. His team consists of 40 operators total. 12 will breach the palace. 8 will provide overwatch from surrounding buildings. 20 will secure the perimeter and extraction point. Every single operator has studied 3-dimensional models of Miraflores Palace for 6 months. They know every hallway, every staircase, every exit. They've rehearsed this breach 157 times at a replica facility in North Carolina. They know the mission down to the second. But as every operator knows, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. January 2nd, 2026. 11 a.m. Caracas time. Maduro meets with Chinese envoy Li Jiang for 3 hours. They discuss oil contracts, infrastructure investments, military cooperation. By 2 p.m., the meeting ends. Maduro is in a fantastic mood. He just secured $10 billion for Venezuela. That night, he celebrates with a private dinner. His wife, Cilia Flores, is with him, along with his closest advisors. By 11 p.m., the advisors leave. By midnight, the palace is quiet. Maduro goes to bed, probably feeling pretty good about himself. He has absolutely no idea that 70 miles north, on the USS Iwo Jima, 40 Delta Force operators are gearing up. Night vision goggles. Suppressed 416 Hong Kong dollars rifles. Breaching charges. Flex cuffs. Tactical medical kits. Every single piece of equipment checked 3 times. At the exact same time, 6 F-22 Raptor stealth fighters launch from Homestead Air Force Base in Florida. They arrive over Venezuelan airspace by 10 p.m., flying at 40,000 feet, completely invisible to radar. Their mission is simple. The moment the operation starts, take out Venezuela's entire air defense network. 400 batteries, radar installations, command centers. Without air defenses, Venezuela is completely blind. Meanwhile, a CIA Reaper drone circles Caracas at 25,000 feet. Thermal imaging cameras watch the palace. Every heat signature mapped. Guard rotations confirmed. Maduro's location verified. 3rd floor, east wing, bedroom. He's asleep. The window is open. January 3rd, 2026. 12:30 a.m. The USS Iwo Jima's flight deck roars to life. 6 mh, 47 Chinooks spin up their rotors. 8 mh, 60 Blackhawks prepare for launch. 4 ah, 6 Little Bird gunships load rockets. 40 Delta Force operators board the helicopters in complete silence. No talking, only hand signals. Hatchet looks at his team one last time. These are the best soldiers America has ever produced. He gives one final order: bring everyone home. 1 a.m. launch. The Armada lifts off, flying south toward Venezuela. Low altitude, 150 feet above the black water of the Caribbean. No lights, no radio chatter, total silence. F-22s orbit overhead like guardian angels. 3 Navy destroyers stand by in case Venezuela's Navy tries to intervene. 1:45 a.m. The helicopters cross into Venezuelan waters. Still no detection. Venezuelan radar operators are staring at their screens, but they see absolutely nothing. The helicopters are flying too low, hugging the water. By the time Venezuelan air defense picks up the signal, it'll be way too late. 1:58 a.m. 2 minutes to strike. The F-22s receive the execute order. They fire AGM-88 HARM missiles. 12 radar sites across Caracas go dark in 9 seconds. Venezuela's entire air defense network is blind. Nobody in Caracas knows what's coming. 2 a.m. Caracas erupts. Explosions rock military bases across the city. Fuerte Tiuna military base. Miranda Air Base. La Guaira port. But these aren't invasion strikes. They're diversions. Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from Navy destroyers offshore, hitting ammunition depots and fuel storage facilities. No casualties, just noise, fire, chaos. The Venezuelan military scrambles. Troops rush toward the bases. Air raid sirens wail across the city. Civilians think it's a full-scale invasion. They flee to shelters, to basements, to subway tunnels. Maduro's palace guard rushes toward the explosions. And that's exactly what the Americans want. Because while every Venezuelan soldier is staring at the fires on the horizon, nobody is watching the palace. 2:03 a.m. 6 Chinooks scream across Caracas airspace at 180 miles per hour, flying just 120 feet above the buildings. Civilians look up in absolute terror. Black helicopters. American helicopters. The rotor wash shakes windows. Car alarms go off across the entire city. Venezuelan Air Force tries to scramble jets from Valencia Air Base, but it's already too late. F-22s are overhead. Venezuelan pilots receive a radio warning in Spanish. Return to base or you will be destroyed. They turn back. Smart move. 2:07 a.m. The lead Chinook reaches Miraflores Palace. It's a massive colonial-era building in the center of Caracas, surrounded by walls and guard towers. Normally 200 soldiers protect it. Tonight, because of the diversionary explosions, only 40 guards remain. They're confused, disorganized, staring at the fires lighting up the night sky. Nobody's watching the sky directly above them. 2:08 a.m., fast ropes drop from the Chinook. 12 Delta operators slide down onto the palace roof in 8 seconds. Two palace guards hear the rotor noise. They turn, look up, see the massive helicopter hovering above them. Too late. Suppressed gunfire. 2 shots each. The guards drop without firing a single round. The operators move like shadows, breaching the rooftop access door in 4 seconds. They enter the stairwell. Night vision turns the pitch-black darkness into green light. They descend quickly. 3rd floor, East Wing, Maduro's bedroom. Intel says he's alone with his wife. 2 guards outside the door. 2:10 a.m. The operators reach the 3rd floor hallway. 2 guards are standing outside Maduro's bedroom. They see shapes moving in the darkness. They start to raise their rifles. Suppressed shots drop them before they can even get a round off. The operators move fast. They've trained for this exact moment 157 times. Pure muscle memory. Zero hesitation. 2:12 a.m. They reach Maduro's bedroom door. Solid mahogany, reinforced steel frame. An operator places a shaped breaching charge on the hinges. 3-second countdown. The explosion is muffled but powerful. The door blows inward. Smoke fills the room. Inside, Nicolas Maduro sits straight up in bed, confused, disoriented, probably thinking it's an earthquake. Cilia Flores screams. 2 operators rush in before either of them can react. One yanks Maduro out of bed and slams him face first onto the floor. Flex cuffs around his wrists. Tight. Maduro's face goes completely pale. He realizes exactly what's happening. "You can't do this," he says in Spanish. "I'm the president of Venezuela." The operator doesn't respond. He just lifts Maduro like a suitcase and moves toward the door. 2:14 a.m. The operators move Maduro and Cilia Flores toward the stairwell. They reach the roof. A Chinook hovers overhead, rotors screaming. Fast ropes drop. Operators clip Maduro into a harness. He's lifted into the sky, kicking, screaming. Cilia Flores is next. She's silent now, completely in shock. By 2:16 a.m., all operators are aboard. Extraction complete. The Chinook banks hard, flying north at maximum speed. Venezuelan forces finally realize what just happened. Fighter jets scramble for Valencia Air Base, but F-22s intercept them immediately. Venezuelan pilots receive another warning. This time, an F-22 locks onto a Venezuelan Su-30. The pilot sees the missile warning light flash on his console. He turns back. No shots fired. 2:34 a.m. The helicopters cross back into international waters. Venezuelan missiles can't reach them now. They're safe. Inside the Chinook, Maduro sits on the floor, zip-tied, blindfolded. He's muttering in Spanish. Prayers, curses, threats. The operators ignore him completely. Mission accomplished. 3:18 a.m. The Chinooks land on the USS Iwo Jima. Maduro is pulled out, still in his silk pajamas, still zip-tied. DEA agents are waiting. FBI agents photograph him, document everything. A Navy medic checks his vitals. Blood pressure elevated, heart rate 120, but he's healthy. He'll stand trial. 3:45 a.m. Maduro is placed in a holding cell on the ship. Steel walls, fluorescent lights humming. He sits on a bench with his head in his hands. 30 minutes ago, he was the president of Venezuela, sleeping in a palace. Now he's a prisoner on an American warship. Cilia Flores is in a separate cell, crying. She keeps asking to see her husband. They don't let her. 4:30 a.m. Venezuelan Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez appears on state television. His voice is shaking. He calls an invasion an act of war. He declares a national emergency, mobilizes the military, demands Maduro's immediate return. But nobody's really listening. Russia issues a statement condemning the operation. China protests. The United Nations calls for an emergency meeting. But Maduro is gone, and he's not coming back. 5:47 a.m. AC-17 Globemaster transport plane takes off from the USS Iwo Jima. Destination: Homestead Air Force Base, Florida. Maduro is aboard, now wearing an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed, feet shackled. He stares out the window as the sun rises over the Caribbean. He's completely silent now. No more threats, no more curses. Just silence. 8:15 a.m. The sea, 17 lands in Florida. Maduro is transferred to a federal detention facility in Miami. Fingerprinted, photographed, processed like any other criminal. By 9 a.m., he's sitting in a concrete cell with a steel bed and a toilet in the corner. The man who controlled billions of dollars in drug money. The man who starved his own people while he ate lobster in the presidential palace. Now he's prisoner number 26,437. 11 a.m. Trump holds a press conference at Mar-a-Lago. He's wearing a dark suit and red tie. He looks directly into the camera and says, "Last night, American forces conducted a precision operation to apprehend Nicolas Maduro, a man responsible for flooding American streets with cocaine, for torturing his own people, for stealing billions of dollars while Venezuelans starved." He thought he was untouchable. He was wrong. Trump continues. This operation was flawless. 0 American casualties. Maduro is now in federal custody and will face trial. Let this be a message to every dictator, every terrorist, every criminal who thinks they can hide from American justice. You can't. We will find you. We will get you. And you will answer for your crimes. The room erupts with questions. Reporters are shouting over each other. Trump just smiles and walks off the stage. Mission accomplished. 2 p.m. Maduro appears in federal court in Miami. He's wearing the orange jumpsuit, handcuffed in front of him. His lawyer, a public defender, stands beside him looking completely overwhelmed. The judge reads the charges. Narco-terrorism. Conspiracy to import 5,000 kilograms of cocaine into the United States. Money laundering. Crimes against humanity. Maduro pleads not guilty. The judge denies bail. The defendant is a flight risk and a danger to the community. Maduro is remanded to federal custody. Trial date set for June 2026. As Maduro is being led out of the courtroom, reporters shout questions. "Do you have anything to say?" Maduro stops, looks directly at the cameras, and for the first time since his capture, he speaks. "This is illegal. I am the president of Venezuela. The United States has no jurisdiction. This is kidnapping. This is an act of war." The guards pull him away. The courtroom doors close behind him. By the end of January 3rd, Venezuela is in complete chaos. The military doesn't know who's in charge. Padrino Lopez tries to assume control, but rival generals immediately challenge him. Protests erupt in Caracas. Some Venezuelans are actually celebrating Maduro's capture, dancing in the streets. Others are rioting, calling it American imperialism. The country teeters on the edge of civil war. Russia and China condemn the operation, but they take absolutely no action. They issue strongly worded statements. They complain to the United Nations, but they don't intervene because they know the truth. If they try to rescue Maduro, if they send troops or ships or planes anywhere near American forces, the United States will respond with overwhelming military force. And nobody wants that war. So there you have it. One of the most audacious military operations in modern history. In less than 4 hours, the United States managed to kidnap a sitting head of state from his own palace and bring him to American soil to face justice. Love it or hate it, you can't deny it was absolutely insane. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Was this justice for Maduro's crimes? Or was it an illegal act of war? And what do you think happens to Venezuela now? If you made it this far, you're a legend. Smash that like button, subscribe for more stories like this, and I'll see you in the next one.